Hi, my name's Tessa. I'm the Beer Sensory Coordinator here at YCH, and I'm going to take you on a little tour of what is officially known as the Sensory Suite, but what we colloquially call the Aroma Dome. Come on in. All right, first I'm going to show you our little prep space. So this is our lab. This is where the magic begins. This is where we prep our samples. We grind hops, we pour beer. We get everything ready to go so that we can pass it over to our lovely panelists who we put behind this wall here. So I'll show you the other side in a second. Some of you might actually recognize what this box is for. It's intended to hold bullets, but that is not what we put inside of this box. So inside are 25 aroma vials. So the smell that we put inside this mint vial is going to be what all panelists should recognize as mint. And so what we have panelists do is go through every single one of these and smell them and get to know the smell so that when it appears in a hop sample or a beer sample, they can really easily and confidently detect it. Cheesy. It smells awful. Everyone hates it. It's very bad. Something else I'm going to show you is how we get the beer from our draft system in the tap room into the lab. So it's the transition of fun beer drinking into like drinking beer for science in a very serious way. Kevin is taking the sample and putting it into our little magic bullet. This is kind of the best way that we've found to grind up a pellet and make it easier to smell. The next step is to fluff it up, make sure that it's uniform so that we don't get any weird distribution of hop material in there. And then we weigh it out into the individual amber jars that panelists will use to assess the hops. All right, so we've got all of our samples measured out. Now all that's left is to screw on the lids and send them through to the panelists. Right now, Kevin set up the samples in front of the booths where each panelist is going to be sitting. So we have a panelist in 2, 4, and 6. As you can probably tell, we're trying to be careful with COVID-19, so we're spacing the panelists out. We're only allowing 3 back in that room at a time. So we have individual sample sets for each panelist, and they are going to be completely randomized, so every panelist will assess the samples in a different order, and that's been predetermined. They're already set up that way. So he puts it into the passing zone, he turns on the light. That tells the panelist on the other side that there is a sample ready for them to assess. And when the light goes off, we know that the panelist has picked up the sample and they are currently assessing it. So now once the panelist is finished assessing the sample, they'll go ahead and turn the light back on to indicate that they've placed their sample in the passing zone and that they're finished with it. So Kevin goes ahead and takes that sample out and replaces it with the panelist's next sample, turning the light on to alert them that there is now a new sample in the passing zone. All right, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today for your tour of the Aroma Dome, and we wish we could have you here to see it in person, but wherever you are, we hope you're staying safe, and we look forward to hosting you here, hopefully sometime in the very near future.